Tech is everywhere, but is now the right time to actually make the jump? In this video, we'll walk you through what to look for in yourself and in the market so that you can decide with confidence.
Well, the first thing you need to ask yourself is, are you burned out and stuck in your current job? Let me tell you why.
Are you where you want to be?
Let me tell you why I think being burned out and being stuck is the best way to start deciding. It's because I see the pattern with our success stories. The more the person hate their job or their current situation, the more likely the transition happen and the faster it happens. I've been doing this for 10 years, and this is by far the most glaring
indicator, yeah.
The most glaring indicator. How much are you uncomfortable with your situation right now?
We had a lot of fed up medical field employees after the pandemic, and they are successful as a group.
Yeah, it's like Alberto too. He actually was a mailman, and he talked to his wife. He's like, listen, I'm so over this. I hate it. I hate myself every day going to work. And the wife said, take a break and come do this thing. So it really has to do with how much you feel burned out, how much you're ready to move on. That's one thing. And second is, are you excited about researching the field? How much research you're making, not only about how much you can make, but how, do you find yourself researching different tracks, different areas of tech? Are you finding yourself curious about the industry?
Yeah, and I think when we do put in all that research, it shows that whatever we're doing is not giving us satisfaction, right? Like, we know that there's more that we can give, and changing career in any direction is gonna fulfill that.
And the third thing to me is how excited you are to learn something new, because I've in our training we have kickoff day, which is the day where we welcome the students in a new cohort, and you see the amount of excitement in people's eyes to actually get into something new. If you feel that kind of excitement, you probably are ripe to actually do that transition into tech. What else?
So I think if you're already thinking about it, and you kind of mentioned that, it's a sign that you should start exploring.
Yeah, but we have to talk about timing as well. Some people think there is such a thing as perfect timing. It's sometimes they say, well, the economy is not going well, I should wait for the economy to get better. Seriously? There's always going to be ebbs and flows. Or
when was the economy good? Like, as a humankind, that is not something we say.
Or the job market is low. Actually, if the job market, think about it. If the job market is low, that's where you should be studying for when the job markets go back up, right? You're ready. You see? So sometimes some excuses or reason they give themselves are actually...
And their excuses, as you said, like right now, one way to look at it is, hey, with the pandemic, companies learned that they could have talent anywhere in the country. Remote work became normal. But if a company had 90% of their workforces in big cities like New York, in San Francisco, they were paying top dollars for these people, for these engineers that lived in these places. Mm-hmm. Now what we've seen is there's been some layoffs, so the companies are shedding that high-paid talent, and they're making room for new people to come in. So if you wanted to believe this, you could.
Yeah.
But if you want to believe that the economy is in bad shape, you're gonna let that deter you.
Yeah. And also to go back to the perfect moment, because a lot of people are trying to convince themselves there is such a thing. Oh, I'm gonna save for to be able to afford it. The problem with that is the opportunity cost. While you're saving, it's like instead of buying a car now, you say I'm gonna save to buy the car in 3 years. So I'm gonna walk to work for 3 years while I save. You know, sometimes it makes sense to actually borrow, just like you borrow for college. You borrow to actually invest in your career, because the opportunity cost of waiting and saving is way bigger, because you don't know where you'll be in 3 years. You don't know what's going to be the market. You might as well, when you have the excitement, when you are ready,
when you have the time,
it's when you actually take action. So the perfect time, guys, it's an excuse. So there is no such thing as the perfect time to actually start. It's when you feel ready, when you're excited about it, and make it happen. So that's it.
But we still have to talk about evaluating like your personal financial situation. So one of the things that we have to account for is that transitioning can take time. So you're gonna have to make time to study, or you're gonna have to like study while you have a job, which I think is the best option, and most of us can juggle that. We see it every day. Like 98% of our students are actually employed. Some of them have more complications, like children.
You call that complications?
Yes. And they make it happen. So you don't have to quit your job to be able to do it. However, if you have a support system and you can afford to take a few months off, not necessarily for the whole program, but let's say you wanna focus to study for the cert or for the last stretch of the program, and you have that cushion with 3 months, by all means, use it.
And another thing is, how excited is your partner or your spouse is about supporting you throughout the process. If you have a spouse that is excited about supporting you, do it now, because this doesn't come along often, to have someone who's really there rooting for you. So if you have that, take advantage of it.
Yeah, and it's also a matter of momentum. Like, we all go through stages in life. So most likely, if your spouse if you as a family have a newborn and your spouse is navigating that may not be the most comfortable period to do that. But if your family is more on cruise control, then they can support you more in this. Also, we have to think about our extended support system. So not just directly our spouse, but hey, do I have a grandma, an aunt, somebody that can take the kids for a few hours? Yep. Can I rely on somebody for meal prep?
Yeah, or how flexible my boss is to change my hours,
my schedule. Exactly. Can I start work at 7 so that I'm off earlier, and then I can study earlier and then go to my lessons.
Yeah, and another thing you could do is assessing your transferable skills, which most importantly are communication skills,
problem
solving skills, documentation skills. All these things are super transferable. So if you have these things already, and lastly, and most importantly, if you have the computer literacy necessary, it's time. And if you're not sure if you have the computer literacy necessary, we're gonna have a link at the bottom of the video where you can take a free assessment and start understanding if you have the right computer literacy. But if you have all these, it's probably time to actually consider breaking into tech. What do you think?
I agree.